Welcome back everybody, MC here with another video, and today I want to show you guys how to make a Killbox corridor in Rimworld. A Killbox corridor is called a corridor because it's lanes that the enemy has to walk on and they can hit your traps while they're in the corridor. As you can see, I have this Killbox lined up with traps. Now I'm going to try and explain how everything works here, but I would highly recommend taking a screenshot of this and having it on your other screen if you have one, of course, and just copy this from the video or from the screenshot, because it's going to be very hard to explain and it's nice to have a bit of reference. But you want to have a space for your colonists to get around the traps without hurting themselves. You also want them to be able to get in and out of the corridor without having any issues. I have a service door here, which is for staff only, and the colonist doesn't have to go all the way around if you put one there. You could also put one slightly to the left as well. I have the main door here as well. Now, don't forget, the more stuff you have before you get to your walls, the less likely your enemy is going to use what you have set up for them. So I recommend keeping the brown door open if possible in order to entice the enemy in. Only keep it open during the raid, of course, when you are fully set up. So you want to have a 2-gap corridor, and then you have a 2-wide wall. Now, you don't have to make it too wide. I just do it for looks more than anything. But you can have 2-wide corridor, 2-wide wall, 2-wide corridor, 2-wide wall, and only 1 gap in between the corners or at the ends of each corridor. The reason why you want only 1 gap is so that the enemy is forced through that area quickly. You don't want them to take too long. Don't put any traps in the one size corridor at the ends, or your guys will end up hitting the traps themselves. Now, as you can see, I'm using the allow tool here, even though I should be using the planning tool, but I will change very quickly because it's a lot easier, of course, if you could see your planning. As you can see here, I am literally going back and forth to see what I am trying to do, and that is because of how it's nice to have a reference. So I highly recommend that you guys take a screenshot of that. So we're going to go down about 5, and if you go down about 5, that is your first marker. You can go down as far as you want, but 5 is always the best to measure the first door, because you want to have your first door and then you want to have another door. You also want to have your 2-wide corridors, pretty much going out to the right or the left. It's up to you. Usually what I do is, right, when I have the door in the first door in the middle, I put a 5-wall down from that door, and that determines which side the corridor ends at. So pick one side. I usually go from the left, and I go down 5, and then I have everything. I have the first part of the corridor itself on the right then. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is when you have a Killbox corridor at the end of a Killbox, it's very handy because your enemies will be very battered and bruised before they actually get to your Killbox. And I showed you guys how to make a normal Killbox in a previous video. I still have another 2 or 3 types of Killboxes to show you, but if you combine the Killbox corridor with the basic Killbox that I showed you in the previous video, then you will be able to really take out your enemies. Now, as I said, if you have too much stuff, your enemies might not go through the Killbox. So you have to be very careful not to have too much stuff. I usually go for a 3-corridor Killbox corridor, and that way the enemy has a higher chance of wanting to go through the corridor. Also, if you put something valuable at the end of it, or leave the door open, or even a combination of both, then the enemy might have a higher chance of using your corridor. So don't be surprised if your enemies don't use your corridor if you put your corridor at the end of a normal Killbox. They might try and just break in through the walls instead. And when it comes to the measurements, as I said, have every corridor itself 2 wide, and then have the ends 1 wide. Then have either a 1 or 2 wide wall in between, and then you will be able to finish, as I said, your Killbox corridor. So I'm going to show you here now. I have a weird looking thing here that is part of a different build, but if you were to ignore that, or if I was to destroy that, you go up 5, then you skip, you make a 2 wide corridor, then a 2 wide wall, 2 wide corridor. It's a pity that the planning tool in this game doesn't give you different colors, because I'd love to mark it properly. So that's your 2 wide corridor there. Then you have a 2 wide wall, or you can actually just watch me go straight into the second corridor, which is also 2 wide. Then you go up and you make the next corridor. So that was it for today's video. Thank you very much for hanging out with us today. Let me know if you have any questions. I will definitely be showing you how to make improved gunning and corridor positions in the future. But for now, that is a Killbox corridor. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.